Good morning. It's Friday. It means it's almost the weekend. I still have another half a shift to go. It's Fandom Empire live, 10:53 a.m. Eastern Time, just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we got two main topics to discuss on this one. I don't know how active the chat's going to be on this show. Morning shows typically aren't our thing, although when we have had them, typically there's been some big numbers and great channel support and all that nonsense. If you want to support the channel, by the way, the main way you can do that is head on over to Patreon. The link is up above in the graphic bar, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. You can also find it in the description. If you want to support the channel by sending in a super chat, you can do that as well. All right. We're going to talk Halloween kills right out of the gate. And then we're going to switch to Star Wars because Tommy's unlimited time. And then we're going to talk about whatever you want. Q&A will probably only be with me, but we'll see how this goes. Our boy Zach Arnold, co-host of IPC, is going to get down on a Friday. How down are you going to get is the question. You getting down with it? Getting jiggy with it? Hopefully down in a positive way. All right, Tommy, how's it going, man? Good morning. How's the mouth going after 48 hours removed from the dentist?
You know, I'm hanging in there, buddy. I can't really complain. Haven't had anything for pain since yesterday morning. Didn't take anything. So I guess I got lucky, right? You know, can't complain.
It's one hell of a dentist.
Yeah. I think they cut me 3 or 4 spots, but I'm hanging in there. You know, I get a little blood if I brush my teeth, but I just gotta be careful with that. But I'm all right. Thank you for asking. How you doing today?
Man, I got to be careful what I say here when it comes to my I got to be it is what it is. My job is not what it used to be. Let's just say that. There's so much more to it now, and I guess that's just how it rolls sometimes. You win some, you lose some. It is what it is. But we're here talking fandom stuff. And we're going to be talking Halloween and Star Wars, like I said, specifically Star Wars video games and what's going on with that. But first, I want to address last night's stream right out of the gate. And this might, some people might enjoy this. Some people might roll their eyes and say, man, this guy doesn't shut up. Look. When you come on to our channel and choose to take the time to listen to what we're doing or watch what we're doing, we appreciate it. We love the community we've built here, no matter how big or how small it is in some eyes. We definitely appreciate the support. Thanks for pulling out the Patreon link and TeePublic link, Tommy. Clearly, you got that saved somewhere. I don't think you typed that every single time.
Actually, I have been typing it every time, but I just saved it, so I'm not doing it anymore because it's going to be a pain in the
ass. We appreciate the support on any level, whether it's just clicking the like button or Patreon or super chatting or just enjoying yourselves. However, and I'm well aware of what the numbers are of our last few videos. They're really up there, obviously, with all the kill stuff. When you come onto the channel and poke fun at people or bash the hosts or don't like what they say, call people virgins. That really isn't possible in my case. Be prepared for us to call you an ignorant fucking prick, because we're not the type of channel that lets a lot of things slide anymore. And I like the way we handled that one group who doesn't come by here very often anymore. And yeah, so whether it's Tommy or Kieran or myself or Johnny or Jer when he's on here, or Zach or Matt or anybody else, any of our guests, you name it, treat them with respect, because we will fire back if you go too far. And someone learned that the hard way this morning. So, all right, now that housekeeping's done, why did Halloween Kills move to Peacock is the question.
and the answer is because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, I've been curious to see. I was curious to see what the comments would be yesterday in the comment section, or last night in the comment section, and this morning. And you know how early I'm up every day of the week, so for me, I've been reading it all morning, whenever I can. And there's some good points, there's some not so good points, there's some accurate points, and there's some not so accurate points. At the end, by the way, when you read almost every press release of this, or every publication that's done an article for this, Peacock has been mentioned in front of theaters. Theaters is like the bypassing comment on this. And at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to this. They were in negotiations with Netflix. I can't comment on if they were in negotiations with Amazon or Hulu or whoever else. All I know is for certain they were in negotiations with Netflix. And it had been going on for a while. The Peacock thing was always a possibility just because of who owns it. But the Netflix thing fell apart just after Venom moved to October 15th. That is information that I could pull up here in a message and show everybody. I'm not going to do that because you'd see other shit too. But the Netflix thing really fell apart then. And from my understanding, it was basically they had a price point in mind and it did not get matched. And so they opted not to go the Netflix route. And it wouldn't be the first time that they have sold a product to Netflix, by the way. It's not like, oh, well, it's automatically going to go to Peacock. That wasn't the case. So the Netflix thing fell apart. It was very reactionary to the Venom thing. And Venom didn't even stick to that date, which a bunch of people called. So congratulations to that. Although I thought it was fairly obvious that one of those two movies had to move to October 1st. So yeah, they opted to go with Peacock, and I think it was the Slaughtered Lamb guys. I'm guessing it was more than likely Darren had sent a message in on our video yesterday or last night. Maybe it was this morning it came through. I don't really know the timestamp on it, but he said, Universal wants to get as many eyeballs on the movie as they can. And that's the main reason it's going to Peacock. And to an extent, I agree that they obviously agree with that. Again, just to an extent, because I think that while they want as many people to see this movie as possible, that was clearly not the intent from the beginning. They did not move this movie. I'm not saying Darren said this or Slaughtered Lamb guys said this. They didn't. There are a few other people saying this though. They didn't move this movie because it was reviewed by it got bad reviews by half a dozen people that probably wouldn't know a slasher movie, but slapped them in their face. So it's not moved because of the reviews. It's really nothing like that at all. However, if it was just about getting eyeballs on the product, because I've seen a few people say that now, you don't go with Peacock. Okay, whether it's their own thing or not, if it's just about getting eyeballs, which I'm not saying that the Slaughtered Lamb guy said that, because they didn't say it was just that reason, but there are people out there saying that's the main reason. You don't go with Peacock. Peacock, like if you're talking streaming services, way at the bottom. Do you know how much money they generate from that? None. Absolutely nothing. They might sell some more ads. That's possible. This is all about them trying to boost their subscriber base over there, which, again, like it or not, Halloween is not Venom or Spider-Man No Way Home, won't even be Dune or Bond or anything like that. It just isn't. We as slasher/horror fans can hold it at a high, highly regarded anyway. Put it on a pedestal if you want, but it's not going to attract hundreds of thousands of people to go on to that. The other thing is, it now is available to be pirated by everybody at anybody at 1080p everywhere. So there's a bunch of reasons for the move. And on this channel, we've been talking about for the longest time that they were trying to do something for October 31st / November 1st. And when you do that, you're not going to get the same amount of money out of a streaming company as you would if you outright sold it to them. For example, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was just sold, the remake, or not the remake, the sequel to the original was just sold to Netflix. If that movie would have went to theaters exclusively for a couple weeks and was then sold to Netflix, it is not the same amount of money that you would get for it. It's completely different. Tommy, your thoughts, now that we've had some time to digest this, you've obviously seen a bunch going around social media on Halloween Kills going to Peacock. Again, I just want to say, unselfishly, for those that don't feel safe to go to a movie theater, this is wonderful news for all of them. And I truly am happy for all of you. When you go past the movie, though, and you look at the behind the scenes stuff, it's not a great look what's happening.
Yeah, no, totally. And I've made my point twice last night. I'll do a quick recap of that. I totally support any consumer who wants to see this movie in the comfort of their home. They may prefer their home setup, whatever they got going on with that. They may not like the crowd for, health reasons, or they may be an introvert like myself a little bit. That's all good. There are any number of reasons why we may want to stream a movie at home. Part of which is many of us have Peacock free. I've had it for at least several months now, a few months minimum, and I've used it maybe once. I'm just going to come out and say that Peacock is not for the numbers. So that is very, we can raise eyebrows about that easily. So why Peacock? I'm pretty sure that there is no free trial for Peacock. Let's point that out first. So I don't think you can just go and get a free trial, watch Halloween Kills. You're going to probably have to pay at least $5, which is for their plan. You see whatever you want to watch from their premium content library. You'll get ads, but you can pay $10 if you want no ads. That's your option. But again, if you have Compact Cast Xfinity or Cox, you get it free. So, right? Who cares?
I'm sorry, or what?
Cox, COX. I'm pretty sure it's a
I don't know what
service.
I don't know. I thought that's
I know. I have no idea what they were thinking. It must be someone's
I'm like, what? Pardon me?
It must be someone's last name. That's all I can think.
You can watch Halloween Kills on Cox.
Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure this is you get it free. It's probably the $5 plan. You get ads. I've maybe watched one program with it. There is a free side of Peacock, but I'm 99% sure you're not going to be able to watch Halloween Kills on that. That would make no sense whatsoever.
Well, we actually have some news to drop, and this one is coming specifically from us.
Okay.
It's not hard to put together. It's one of the reasons I wanted to do this tonight. I spoke with a couple of our people earlier this morning, and Peacock is only, well, I shouldn't say only, for the most part, is available in the United States of America. It is not available in the UK. It is not available in Canada. There's a bunch of other places it's not available in. For those of you that are worried about seeing this movie, I can't give you a date on it. I'll say that. Please don't quote me on a date. It's probably still the 17-day window. But you will be able to rent this movie on premium video on demand if there is no region exclusive deal done with streaming companies. Universal still has the ability to turn around and sell this to Netflix Canada or whatever's over in the UK. Those things do happen. I can tell you for the longest time, Halloween 2018 was on Netflix Canada before it ever came to the Netflix in the States. That was a thing. And so I'm guessing they're going to go premium video on demand. I can't, you'd get very, very little money for, region exclusive deals for some of these things instead of worldwide. But my guess is you're going to be able to watch this thing on premium video on demand on Halloween night if you want, or November 1st. If you don't live inside the US, and we do know a lot of our chat come from UK, Canada, outside of the US. That said, look, the whole thing that people should be the most concerned about here is not that we're encouraging this, but it'll be everywhere. You'll be able to Google Halloween Kills torrent, and all of a sudden, there's your Halloween Kills torrent in 1080p. Fandom Empire. We have peacocks in Canada, but unfortunately, the big, colorful, feathered birds I have approached about Halloween Kills. I'm not high enough for this, man. I'm not high at all.
And our conversation has segued into furries.
Have no fucking clue what I was talking about. That is too fucking awesome, man. That's horns. That is absolute horns. Our chat mod Toronto Freddy having some fun. This should have gotten the 45-day treatment like Quiet Place 2. Yeah, but you need to remember that Universal and AMC negotiated a 17-day window for their movies, not a 45-day window. So, and there's more to fall out on this. I can tell you that there are people not happy about this. There's an NBC portion of Universal that has been problematic. You are going to continue. Why don't I just say 4K? Well, because if I said 4K, I would be lying. Peacock doesn't have 4K. That's why. Just like I do Inhale, sir. Just having some fun, buddy. Yeah, there's no 4K on Peacock. The highest it goes is 1080p. And so if you want to see Halloween Kills in 4K, you'll be waiting for either premium video on demand or an actual 4K movie, or go to the cinema, you know? That's where I'm going. I'm going to the cinema to see this thing. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. We'll come back to the Halloween stuff. The chat will get a chance to chime in on the Halloween stuff. I just feel like there's a lot of false narratives out there with content creators, and
sure, and folks want to fill in their own information just because it's what makes sense in their minds. But the fact is, that's not how things are going to be. I just corrected someone in the chat saying, well, everything on Peacock is free and you can pay for no ads. No, that's not how this service works. They have a free library and then they have a premium library. You pay money, you get access to the premium library with ads. If you pay a little more money, you get access to the premium library without ads. That's how their service works.
It's the same people that, well, not the same people, but there are different people that are saying, well, it's moved because of its poor reception. That's why they went to Peacock. Nope, completely untrue. There's nothing there to back that up whatsoever. This movie will have like 200 Rotten Tomatoes reviews when it's all said and done. I think right now they have 16 or 17. So let's pipe down on that. It's the same people that think that, the movie only needs to make $20 million or $30 million to break even. Also not even remotely close to true. I had no idea Peacock didn't do 4K. Here's the problem, Anthony. If I didn't, then I wouldn't ever take Journeys to Crispy Avenue, and I'd be wasting money. But anyways, that's another story for another time. We can talk about that in private. What do you mean ads? Is there ads in the movie? I'm confused. I believe
basically they will insert their ads in like commercial breaks. That's how it will work. I've never watched.
Is it a commercial break, or is it something like this, where, for example, nothing's on screen, and all of a sudden at the bottom of the screen, this comes up and the movie's still playing? I don't have Peacock, so I have no idea how it works.
I'm pretty sure it will interrupt it. I'm pretty sure. Again, I've had the service for a while. I've probably watched like 1.5 hour show, if that. So I am not the authority on it. I've just been doing my reading, refamiliarizing myself with everything. And what I can guarantee you is do not try to go on Peacock on December 15th. By the way, chances are you're not going to watch it the 14th, the night before, and expect to watch Halloween Kills without paying anything for it. You're going to have to pay at least $5. That's if you don't mind getting interrupted with ads. $10 if you don't mind, if you want to get out of the ads. Again, that's cheaper than a movie ticket, so also can't talk about that, but whatever.
Again, here's some more misinformation. I love Maddie. He's one of our chat mods here, but I want to address this just because he put it in the chat. Man, I just wish Universal would sell the Halloween property to someone who knows what they're doing. Well, the problem with that is Universal doesn't own Halloween. That's not how it works. Universal is the distributor. There's a very high chance that one day a company not named Universal, like in the past, will be a company that distributes Halloween. But with its success so far, Universal will be smart to hold on to that. Yeah, again, like, this is not like a know-it-all thing. It's simply trying to educate some people on how some of this behind-the-scenes stuff works, because there are a lot of people out there that will throw out, there's another delay coming, and there was never a delay on the table. This movie, like we've said since the beginning of this year, had almost no chance of getting backed up again.
This movie is not getting delayed anymore. Look at what point we're at. We're just slightly over a month.
Our buddy Jay Ryan says it interrupts it just like Hulu. Hulu's also not available in Canada.
Thank you, Jay. Yes, that is ad breaks. That is ad breaks.
Matt says Universal must be okay with losing money, being that they're putting it in their own streaming service. Well, I think their hope is that they're going to get people to come subscribe to their streaming service. In other words, making money that way. The problem is a lot of people are going to subscribe, watch the movie, probably capture the movie, then torrent the movie. And yeah, this is not a movie you do this with. It just isn't. It's not big enough.
Peacock has a few cool things on it. Like, I'm pretty sure they got all of The Office. But again, there's a reason I've only watched it like once since I got access to it for free. It's not what I need to watch.
No, Matt, that's entirely incorrect. Ends will not be under a different distributor. It's currently a deal in place. I'm talking future Halloween movies down the road could go through a different distributor. Kevin, as a person who already has Peacock due to WWE Network not having to pay for a babysitter, this was an easy decision for the wife and I. Order some good food and stay at home. Hey, again, I am utterly fucking thrilled for the people that don't have the freedom, because I can tell you we're in that boat. We have to get a sitter when we go see it. I love it that people can go and see, or not go and see, be able to see it in the comfort of their own home safely. Again, not to get into politics and vaccinations and all that, but like up here in Canada, if you're not vaccinated, you will not be getting into a movie theater. Period. That's the law. For other people, this is an opportunity for them to see it at home. Maybe not in Canada, but in the US, day of. The day of thing is surprising, because I do think there's more fallout to come in regards to that. I see it, Tommy. We'll switch topics here and come back. So we are going to and Frank says, I don't care what they do, my ass is going to the theater. Me too. I'm going to see it on the big screen, but that doesn't mean that, like, because when Tommy and Matt come up here, that doesn't mean Tommy, Matt, Kieran, myself, and Johnny aren't going to watch Halloween Kills around a campfire. That very well might happen at some point that weekend. But our first screening will absolutely be in a movie theater that best fits our needs. Oh, I don't know about that. The best informed people on film business is Dave McGran, Fandom Empire. I appreciate the compliment, but those guys over at the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast are very good at what they do. There's other people too that are spot on. As much as I love Dave and I, and even though John Campea can come across like a pretentious ass at times, he's right in there with that shit too. Dan Murrell's in there with that shit too. We're small time. And 5 years ago, I would have had, well, maybe more than 5 years ago now, before going to where Tommy and I used to be, I would have had a lot less idea on how things like this work. So, super chat before we switch topics. We are going to talk about the Knights of the Old Republic remake for 10 minutes, and then we'll get into questions. But we will have to exit Tommy at that point. Here's hoping it goes well. FYI, it's Lindsay in the trailer messing with his mask. You guys do what you do. Keep on keeping on. Proud of the channel. That's correct. I can't believe how many people, not just people, like major trades were like, when they were reviewing that trailer, Laurie unmasks Michael in the trailer. It's like, yeah, that doesn't happen. And like, they just kept running with it. They kept going with it. And no, it's not Laurie at all. All right, Tommy, we had this one right a long time ago, to toot our own horn. Knights of the Old Republic. It's coming back. It's kind of being misrepresented and mismarketed already. Misinformed anyway. Just quickly, what does Knights of the Old Republic mean to you? Because for me, it's the best told Star Wars story ever, and that includes the movies.
Wow, that's a big statement to make. I don't know if I'm ready to jump on top of that.
I'm Knights of the Old Republic 1, Empire Strikes Back 2 in terms of Star Wars stories.
KOTOR is easily the best video game Star Wars story out there, because we're looking at books, we're looking at films. I have cartoons, but I have no problem saying it's the best video game stories they got out there, and there's some pretty good ones, there's some not so great ones. I first played KOTOR probably when I was late elementary, early middle school. I'd have to check those years. I've gone through it several times. I've gone through the second one several times. I don't know if I ever finished the Old Republic. I was working on it, just got pretty far in my most recent playthrough, but whatever. I read the Old Republic Revan novel. I love this universe. I love Darth Revan. The Old Republic era is great. I really wish that I hope that they rectify, and I hope they do justice for current canon. What about you?
So I'll spend a little less time on that. I think you're being very, very modest, Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast guys, but I'm going to stand by what I said. Darren gets info from the men's bathroom while facing the urinal. Hey, sometimes that's the best place to receive info, or receive in general. Anyways, I'm not saying Darren, but some people, bathrooms are their hotspot. Why do you think you see so many bathroom scenes in horror movies? Big Joe Grizzly. Anybody remember him?
We talked about furries, and now we're talking about glory holes. Fantastic.
So they're really like going hard on this remake thing to the point where like it's in the logo. Like it literally has remake in the logo. But the problem is, and I want everybody to be informed about this because we covered this several months ago, long before there was any announcement. It's not a remake. It's a retelling. There's a lot of people throwing out there that, it's a shot-for-shot remake, and they're just getting rid of the turn-based style RPG system. And you're right, they're absolutely getting rid of the turn-based RPG system. But that doesn't it doesn't stop there. This is a story that is being moved in the timeline because they feel like 4,000 years ago, prior to the original trilogy in Star Wars, is just too far of a gap for technology that really doesn't look a whole lot different. So there's that.
It never really bothered me because it was Star Wars yet. When you first learn about it, it's a little bit much, but it's not our universe, so I don't understand why it's a big deal. But hey, whatever. I don't make those creative decisions.
So it really isn't a remake, and you're not going to have as many. In the first Knights of the Old Republic, you can do almost whatever the hell you want, and you have a plethora of choices all throughout the game. And that's not going to be this game. You're going to have some choices you can make and can't make. Just remember this: when Knights of the Old Republic came out, Revan was not in the marketing. The marketing was heavily Bastila and Malik, and that will not be the case with this game. You're going to get all your main story beats from Knights of the Old Republic 1 with tweaks and changes, but you're also going to go past that story in this game. And that's where it kind of that's kind of where it is with that stuff, right? So it is not a remake. I know that that's how they're marketing it, but
they legit put remake at the end of their teaser.
It's frustrating because if you even go to StarWars.com and read the article, it becomes clear. It becomes clear that it's not a remake. And this is not from Variety or Hollywood Reporter or Fandom Empire or Uncle Joe's Hamster's Mailman.
The original source where it's all coming from.
StarWars.com, right there. They literally tell you things are changing. Things are going to be different. It's still very early stages. Let's talk about this point, though. This is the big one. Other than PC, because I believe it's going to be for PC, it is, in fact, a Sony exclusive. And it's actually Sony. And I have a buddy who works in the gaming department over there. And yet I had no idea this was coming, although he's not really a Star Wars guy by any means. Sony is helping Asper Media do this. Because Asper is a very small company. They do have former BioWare employees who worked on Knights of the Old Republic 1, who worked on the Old Republic, that are a part of that company. So that it's in good hands in that way. But no, this is very much a Sony exclusive when it comes to gaming consoles. And that was surprising because if you go look back at Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, what are they? They are Xbox/Microsoft exclusives. Well, the remake is they were not available on the PlayStation.
No, they weren't. I got my Knights of the Old Republic when I got an Xbox later. Yeah, that's
so now it's flipped. Now
that's weird.
Now Sony has the exclusive rights.
Mind you, over the years, KOTOR 1 and 2 have ended up on everything from your cell phone to your computers. It was even on the Mac natively. It doesn't run as great as it used to, but you still can play it. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? I know there's very few properties that would make me go out and buy a PS5. I'm ashamed to admit that this is one of them.
Where my life is, I'm not in a position to go buy consoles willy-nilly.
I also think that, by the way, I think there's some people that think this game is coming soon. This game is coming no earlier than 2023 because of the deal in place between Lucasfilm and Electronic Arts.
I don't have all that much time dedicated to gaming. You don't have that much time either, but
I have an Xbox that collects dust.
You just got a Series X, a few months ago. You haven't even used it much.
No, I use it to watch some of the sports apps on, and it's great for a 4K player, which I needed one.
Sure.
And my older son loves video games, so when he's down, he plays that stuff, and that's good enough for me. I used to be a gamer when I was younger, but I don't have time for that.
Chances are, whenever it comes time for me to buy, a current gen console, the price is going to have to go down, and typically I go Xbox nowadays because I enjoy my Halo storyline, but depending on what the lineup looks like a few years from now, what's in development and all, that could change. I had a PS4 for like a year or two because I wanted to play all the Kingdom Hearts games before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I played through Spyro, that trilogy. I played through Crash on there, even though they were also on Xbox. So, but I didn't keep it long. I traded it in when I could still get money for it. Any gaming I do nowadays is on my Switch because you can hop in, you can do it real quick. I like platformers, so on and so forth.
So I want to we're gonna outro Tommy here, but I want to bring up Spider-Man for a second after he leaves, and Matrix, and maybe dive into some more of this Halloween stuff. I'll let you guys dedicate it. It's not going to be a long stream though. I'm in between work shifts at the moment. So Tommy, thanks for doing this, man. I'm glad you're doing better, and I can't wait for Lambkin Lane on Sunday.
Yeah, wish I could. I could probably hop in on Lambkin Lane. I'll confirm that later. Wish I could stick around, but I gotta go do some work myself.
Are you taking the blue pill or the red pill?
Anyway,
Matrix thing, but okay.
I know you're talking Matrix, buddy. I haven't watched those movies in years. They are masterpieces, though. I know folks got mixed.
Hang on, did you just say they're masterpieces?
Folks got mixed opinions on the sequels, but I know that the first one is a beloved, piece of cinema for a reason. So anyway, if you want to catch me on Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at TommyB1650. Check out our Patreon and our TeePublic if interested. I put those links in the chat right before I'm leaving, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you later. Oh, I'll just talk the rest of the show like this. Works for me. Hang on. Let me get rid of this, guys. What do we have here? Does this one work? Oh no, that's Terrence. Terrence doesn't work. Here we go. We'll go with this one. Who in the chat? I'll spend the next 15 minutes with you guys or so. Who in the chat has seen the Matrix Resurrections? I think that's what it's called. Matrix Resurrections trailer. I'm not a big Matrix guy myself. I really liked the first movie. I thought the second and third movies were not very entertaining and were very different from the first movie. Not that that's always a bad thing. But I see a lot of people saying out there on social media that the trailer for the fourth movie, if it is the fourth movie, that seems to be TBD at the moment in terms of timeline stuff, but that the trailer itself is already better than the second and third movies. I kind of like the trailer, to be honest. I thought the trailer was quite good. No, I don't understand what the hell's going on. I don't know if they're doing a Terminator thing where, it's a prequel and a sequel at the same time. I have no idea. But it's probably a movie I'm going to watch. I think that's going to HBO Max as well. So, interesting seeing NPH in the trailer. I'm going to plead ignorance here, Chris, and say I have no idea what NPH stands for. So if you want to point that out for my dumbass, that would be appreciated. What else do we have here? Kevin Dustin. I guess I was trying to say earlier that I appreciate the honesty from you and Dave McRae. I also know Dave works in the business, so he offers perspective that the average person may not. Yeah, I want to make it really clear right now that my profession is a charter bus driver. That is what my title is. Charter bus driver, also do school bus driving. And then I do this YouTube stuff on the side. I have been lucky enough to grow up with some people who work in the business, which is cool. Sometimes people know people and sometimes people don't, but Dave and other people that work in the industry have way more of a grasp on what's going on. Sometimes we hear stuff and it's good, and sometimes we hear stuff and it's bad. And an example of that is everybody's going nuts about the Spider-Man thing and Spider-Man No Way Home, and Andrew Garfield says he's not in it or whatever, or alludes to him not being in it. And I don't know 100% for sure that he is in it or isn't in it. I highly suspect that Andrew, and this is me giving an example of, I don't work in the industry. I don't know. I suspect there's very few people that do know. I suspect that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are both in that movie. I would bet a lot of money on it. But when these performers get asked by the media, are you in this movie? What do you expect them to say? They're not going to be like, oh, hang on, I'm going to put some music in under me. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, totally, I'm in the movie. Do you know how many years Ewan McGregor lied about there being a Kenobi project because he had to? They can't just come out and say this shit. And Garfield said as much. He said, and I quote, "It doesn't matter what I say, I'm fucked." And he's right. I would be highly disappointed if they're not in the movie, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a good movie. Don't let that be your only expectation for a movie. That is definitely trap territory. Neil Patrick Harris. I should have known that. Jade's probably ashamed of me. He is in the trailer. I quite liked him. I like this line. We don't use that word in here. That was cool. Really, really cool. The Oct Besides the main thing you didn't like in the original Halloween Kills script, which got changed, are there other things you didn't like in the script that they kept in? That's tough. Because like I really, really enjoyed what I read. I'll say this. They got rid of something that I couldn't stand and I thought really hampered the movie. But they also got rid of something that I quite liked. So that's the best I could answer that. Kevin says the Matrix trailer was awesome. Yeah, no, I quite liked it. I had no problem with the Matrix trailer at all. Let me ask the chat. There are 33 people in here right now. It is just after 11:30 p.m. Eastern here. How many of you are going to go see Halloween Kills in theaters? This would be better if we had one of our big chat days and or chat nights going on here. But for those of you that are in here, how many of you guys are going to go see Halloween Kills in theaters? Frank has already made a point of saying he doesn't care what they're doing. They're going to see it in theaters. That's kind of how we are. And how many people are going to just stay at home and watch it on Peacock or by other means? PM. Holy shit, I'm late. Yes, sorry, I meant AM. AM. Apologies. Force of habit. Yeah, how many of you guys are going to sit at the comfort of your own home and watch this? You know, we seen, I don't remember who it was, but someone in the chat earlier specifically said that it's just much easier for them. They don't have to get a sitter. They'll enjoy it in their own home. Look, a lot of people have badass setups. We have a pretty nice studio down here with a lot of expensive equipment. I know other people that do podcasting and YouTubing that have a nice studio with expensive equipment. But I also know people that have just balls to the walls, incredible entertainment systems, home theaters, if you will, in their own home that are going to be feel much happier and much safer that they can watch this in their own home. I did see Dave on Twitter last night say that he has heard from a lot of people that they're going to watch this at home and not in movie theaters, and he found that interesting. Jade. Theater, because I don't want our spawn to interrupt the first time we see the movie. Yes, I agree. Matt says he'll watch it multiple times in theaters and watch it on Peacock. Linton's going to theaters. Michael is going to go see it in theaters. Jay is going to see the early screening and the regular screening and then watch it on Peacock as well. There are definitely more options now, which is nice. Jerry, I think it's more comfortable in the home. Plus, you never know who's sitting next to you. You're correct. I don't know how restrictions are down there where you guys are. But up here, like, if person X down the street goes to the same movie theater that we do, that person can't just sit beside us. That's not how it works. You're split up into groups and couples and etc. when you go to a movie theater in Canada now. So you don't have to worry too much about that, at least up here. But again, I understand. Like you don't know. You don't know. As a guy who literally has to like heavily clean a bus multiple times a day to make sure there's no germ spreading or anything like that. That never used to be a part of my job. I get it. You know, things are not safe out there. And being able to watch it in your own home, I think makes sense. With that being said, if we go to a movie theater and some punk kid ruins their movie, I will flip shit. Yeah, you can't tell me that you've never been to a movie theater where you get some ignorant prick out there who is going to talk through the whole fucking movie. I know Jade and I ran into that issue with, I can't remember if it was It Chapter 1 or It Chapter 2, but like these two teenage girls would not shut up throughout the whole fucking movie and basically ruin the entire experience. Zach says, my mom's house. Good luck with that, sir. Let me know how it is. I won't be caught dead there. But yeah, no, good stuff. Sorry, I'm going through the chat seeing what I missed. I don't want anybody to be left out. I also heard that they ruined the WWE network and that it hasn't been very well received there. So there's that. Any last questions before we wrap up for the day? We'll be back on Sunday with Lampkin Lane for our Patreon supporters. Let's see. Just boobs and atmosphere. Haven't heard that one in a while. Speaking of which, we got filming here in 6 weeks from today. Cameras will roll again. We're looking forward to having a bunch of fun with that and giving you guys a peek behind the curtain and what we're doing there. So the plan is to have somebody there doing behind the scenes the entire time we film so we can offer more in terms of that stuff. Still working on that, but it's coming soon. Troy says he's definitely seeing it in a movie theater. Matt says, if that happens, I will beat a kid's ass and run across the border. Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. I'll just sit there and laugh. You haven't been in a movie theater since Zombies movies. Wow. So, Jerry, I guess you've had to wait quite a while to see certain movies, right? How long after Halloween 2018 came out did you have to wait to see that one, man? Oh, no, they're being modest. Those guys are, well, first of all, Frank is one of the funniest fucks I've ever met in my life. Virtually, that is. And Darren is obviously definitely knows his shit. So, but there's a lot of people that, just throw shit against a wall and hope it sticks. And it's not those guys. And whether anybody believes it or not, it's not us either. It's just not the way that we like to do things here. Oh, good God. George Harrington. I would prefer going to cinema at least 8 or 9 times. I love Halloween. I'm not seeing this movie 8 or 9 times in theaters. I could see myself seeing this movie maybe 3 times in theaters. We'll see how the first couple of showings go. Sorry, my chat is literally frozen. 1 second, guys. I can't see anything. I'm going to have to log onto YouTube for a second. StreamYard's problems. I don't want to refresh either. Oh, yeah, Frank, how about those Yankees, man? You sweating yet? You getting worried, dude? Man, they look fucking bad. I watched the Blue Jays in 30 last night before bed, which is basically the game condensed down into 30 minutes, which is awesome because Yankees games are way the fuck too long. Those fuckers need a pitch clock. And it really is a team-based thing. Go time out how long a Dodgers or a Yankees or a Red Sox game is compared to the Jays or the Rays or the Orioles. And they're considerably different. They're still in the running for the wild card, says Frank. Yeah, they are. And I wouldn't count them out, but man, are they in trouble. I think the Jays have 1 game in hand on them. Not ahead of them, just games in hand. And I think they have 4 on Boston. And the Jays' remaining schedule has 14 games against Baltimore and Minnesota. We're not going to pay to see it 3 or 4 times when we can see it at home. Can we see it at home? Last time I checked, we're in Canada. We don't do that other thing, right? No, we'll definitely see it opening night. And we will definitely see it. I think we're trying to find an IMAX showing, which is not going to be easy. We had a private screening booked, and then we had to cancel the private screening. And again, I don't want this to go too political here, but the reason we had to cancel the private screening is basically 35 to 40% of our party was unvaccinated, and the rest of us were vaccinated. And you can't go into a movie theater unless you're fully vaccinated in Canada. So it meant we all would have had to pay considerably more money for the private screening, and we weren't going to do that. So my goal, though, is just to see it on a traditional screen and then either a Dolby Cinema screen or an IMAX screen, just to experience. I love seeing movies in IMAX. So they cannot look too good about the other team's feelings. Oh, God, you sound like my brother. Phillies are in first. I don't pay attention to the National League, if I'm being honest. Halloween Kills hype. Yep, the hype is here, regardless of how you see it. And again, we said last night, regardless of all this behind the scenes stuff, and you can take it for what it is. You know, one channel can say this, another channel can say that, this critic can say this critic can say that. Fuck all that shit. Go and watch the movie. Keep that shit aside and enjoy it for what it is. You know, I don't think many, critics were going to love the idea of Michael Myers on a rampage where he just slaughters people endlessly for 90 minutes, or I guess 100 minutes. That was never going to be super well received by your typical movie critic. So there's that too, but just enjoy it for what it is. And then if you really love the movie and you're obsessive about all that shit, then look into that shit and see how it does. So you waited for Halloween 18 to come out on DVD 2 months later. Wow, dude. That's some patience. I guess the bright side for you is you won't have to do that this time. And we'll see what happens with that. Linton, appreciated, man. That's the plan. This is like literally our last free weekend until the middle of November. We have plans every weekend until then. So we're going to enjoy it for sure. Sean, if it comes to Salem again, I'll get you a ticket with me. It was a surprise in 18, so maybe again. I'm at a horror convention waiting for the doors to open, man. Any questions you want asked of Nick, Jim, or Chris? I appreciate it, but no, not really. You just ask what you want to ask and enjoy the moment, man. Those moments are great. I miss going to conventions, and I hope that that becomes a real possibility here sooner rather than later in Canada. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. Don't forget to check us out on social media. All of our socials are up there. Greatly appreciated. Thanks to the chat mods, Frank Riker, Toronto Freddy, Matt Whitfield, and Jade that are out there right now. Who knows what Kieran's busy at work now that I think about it. Ask Jim what he thinks about making a TV movie. Well, I don't know if I'd call it a TV movie, but I know you're being a bit sarcastic there. That'd be hilarious, though, just to see the look on his face. Try not to get yourself kicked out while doing it, too. Anyways, big thanks. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. I'm telling you, more is going to drop about this stuff in the coming days. Not everybody's on the same page with it. And it'll be interesting to see the drama as it unfolds. But more importantly, you got what? What's the date today? It's the 10th. You're a month and 4 days away from seeing Halloween Kills. Exciting times, exciting times. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday night, Lambkin Lane, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Ciao.